Hello and welcome to the fourth video in this training series for the Flex S24. Now in the last video we went through patching the desk, so patching all the lights in my rig, but in this video we're going to go through controlling them, so putting some colour on them, going through effects, movement and stuff like that, and that's what we're going to do in this video, just to get you up and running with actually controlling lights on this desk before we go into recording stuff and planning shows and stuff like that. So first thing I'm going to do is just point the camera down so you can see what I'm doing on the screen, and then I'll keep just flipping between the screen and the light so you can see what they're doing and what I'm doing on the screen as well, because that's quite important. Right, I've tilted the camera down so you can actually see what's going on behind. You should be able to see the glow of the light just behind the desk. It should help just to see what I'm actually doing on the desk, but we'll see what happens. So we're just going to focus on the wash fixtures right now, because they're quite simple to control. Now I've got them up, and the first thing you do once you've selected your wash fixtures, first thing that comes up on the top of the screen is a whole list of, or a whole line of options to control these fixtures. The first one of this is colour. So if you click on colour, the first time you open this view of the screen, there'll be nothing on here, and there'll be a button saying automatically create colour palettes. And I've already gone and done that, but you can, it's still there. Now what that's done is it's just gone and created colour palettes for this light, anything you can really use. Now you can go and change these as you want, but that will be in the next video. And you can go and add more on as well. You can have a total of 48 colour palettes. So yeah, that's that one. At the bottom of the screen we have encoders for red, green, blue and white, and they're just the individual controls of each LED. So that's that one. As we go into the next one, which is the colour picker, we have a whole view full of colour. Now you can take your finger, move it across and choose whatever colour you want, and this is the whole spectrum of light that these lights can do. See whites down here, go through the colours, different tones, everything. So that's that one. That's for colour picker. Now the cool thing about the colour picker is that you can take two fingers, you can spread it across your lights. So I can spread it like that, and that up on the light has spread the colour across. Now I'm just going to show you that. So I'm just going to show you what I've done. So spreading the colour across the screen has spread the colours across the lights as well. So I can go ahead and do it again, and it will spread a different colour. So that's pretty self-explanatory. Now at the bottom of the screen there is also the 4 encoders again, so you've always got that showing. And also on the left of the screen there is options to add photos, and you can add a photo and then you can pick colours and you can spread colours from that photo. I've never used it, but it is pretty self-explanatory. You click plus and you add the file from a USB stick, and that's it. Right, I'm just taking you back down here so you can see what's going on the screen again. So you might be able to see through the screen, I'm not sure if you can, but there is currently 3 dots on the screen. Those are the 3 lights. If you had like 5 or 6 lights or any more than that, you'd have 5 or 6 dots showing you where the colour is across the screen. So that's that. We'll put it in a cyan kind of colour right now. So the next one along is mood boards by Leaf Filters, is what this is called. Now Leaf Filters is one of the main suppliers of gels for generic fixtures. They also do a lot of camera work and camera filters and stuff like that, but it's pretty well known in the theatre industry. So they've made a whole selection of colour palettes basically, and all of these have names, and so let's go here, cool. Actually no, we'll go to aggression, first one. Now all of these colours here have gel numbers on them, so L100 is spring yellow, and it will take the lights to that colour. And all of these colours here, according to Leaf Filters, work really well together to create that atmosphere. So there's a thing at the top saying these more saturated colours are suited to bring backlight and effect lighting. So these all should work together to create the effect of aggression, as far as Leaf Filters say. I've used it once or twice. They are very, very useful, because if you don't really know colour theory and like you don't really know what works well together, then they're very useful because you've got tons of them. So what else is here? Excitement. You've got some pretty vibrant colours going on in there, and lavender in there and everything. So you got a lot of options in there, and they all work well together. So you can spread these colours across the rig in different positions and everything like that. So that's that one. So next across is, I'm going to put it in and just sign right now. So the next across from leaf filters is beam. Now these lights don't have any beam function. They're not zoomable, because some wash lights are zoomable, so you can bring the beam in or out like that. But these don't have that, so we'll leave that one there. Now the next one across is position. So this one has, again, the automatically create position palettes, but we're not going to create position palettes, sorry, right now. We're going to go and do that in the next video. So that's that. At the bottom of this one, but it works exactly the same as the color palettes, which is what I forgot to say then. But at the bottom of here we have pan and tilt, and then position, speed, and everything like that on the encoders at the bottom. That's just to control it for your encoders if you want to. Along from that, we have the pan and tilt grid. So this grid, exactly like the color picker, moves the light. You can sort of see it moving in the background of the video actually. So it just moves the light around the room with the grid. So tilt is up and down, and pan is across like that. And I will show you what the lights are doing right now. So I just tilted you up, and you can see now that the lights are doing what I'm doing with the grid on the screen. So this is a really useful feature if you're just trying to find a position on stage. I personally prefer using the encoders, because I find they're a little bit more precise. So I'm using the encoder now, the pan one, which is the bottom left encoder. So just turning it clockwise or anti-clockwise just turns the light around. Same with the tilt. I find it's a lot easier to use that, but if there's like a long distance you need to travel to get to something on stage like there, then obviously the pan tilt grid comes in very, very useful. And some people just prefer doing that. So that's that one. So the next one across is the effects. So I'll tilt you back down so you can see that. So the next one across is effects, like I said. Now the desk doesn't have an effects processor inside it. You cannot create your own effects. The only effects that you can do is on playbacks, which is what I talked about earlier. You can create a chase. So that's this list of cues that just repeatedly go through, and you can create a chase, and that is the closest you can get to creating effects on this desk, which is really annoying. But the effects that they have inbuilt are actually not that bad. They could definitely do it with a few more, would be lovely, but you have got a pretty wide selection here, and you've pretty much got everything you need, to be fair. So I'll take you through a few now. Top left is just no effects, so if you pile on a ton of effects and you don't want any more, just hit no effect and it's all good. So at the top we have some chaser effects. Now these are just brightness effects, so you can see there the light is slowly moving along the rig. On the right of that you've got another chaser, which is quarter, so it's faster. Chaser eighth, so that's again even faster. And you've got smooth there, it will just flash between. I will tilt you up so you can see what I'm doing, because you get the point of this screen. You've got all of them here, and I'll just call through them. Right, okay. I'm just going to go through some of the position effects. So we've got, what have we got in here? So we've got one called, what have we got? Circle is the first one, and it does as it says. It moves in a circle. Figure of 8, move in a figure of 8. Now, right now there is an offset on these, which I'll explain in 2 seconds, but I'll keep going through them for now. Ballyhoo, which is a position and a intensity effect. So I'll just go back to no effect to clear that out, because what you can do with all these effects, you can pile effects on. So if I put a circle effect on, that's a position effect. That's not affecting its intensity or its colour. So if I scroll down a bit more, there is one here that says rainbow. There's rainbow pastel, rainbow warm, and rainbow cool. So there's a whole load of rainbow ones that you can have, and I will pile on another rainbow effect. So that's a position effect and the rainbow effect, because that's a position and a colour effect piled on top of each other. And then if you don't like that, if you just press the no effect button at the top left, that clears everything and it goes back to what you had before. So that's the effect. That's the effect view. I'm just going to tilt you down and explain the offset for you. But while you're up there, I'll show you, and then I'll explain it when we get down. So if we put the circle effect on, like I said, at the top we have a thing that says no offset. If we hit that, it says no offset on it. Now this makes them all move in the same direction. As you can see my hands are doing here, they're moving exactly the same direction. If we put any of the other offsets on, so we can put random offset, which means they're all moving in different ways around the room, as you can see in the rig there. So they're all moving in the same circle effect, but they're at different times, and they're just moving in different positions. So that's what offset is. I'll toot you down again. Right then, if we put another effect on, so we'll go back to the circle one, we can see at the bottom there's speed, size, offset and rotation in the encoders. So rotation is basically the circle effect right now is going clockwise, but if we put the rotation at 100, that turns it anti-clockwise. That is literally all rotation is. It swaps the way the effect is running. It will just swap it to go the other way. Offset is how I've explained. If you have it at 100, they're going different ways. If you put it to 0, they're all going to go the same way. The one next to it is size, so how big the effect is. So if you have a really small size, they're only going to be moving around like that, possibly even like just static. And if you have the size, massive size, then it's going to be moving massive, and it's going to be going faster to keep up with where it needs to go. Because if I put size up right now, you can sort of see behind me that it's flashing over here because it's making the size massive. You can see the size is pretty big here, and I can bring the size down to way smaller and make them go into a smaller position. So they're still doing the circle effect, but they're just going over a smaller space. So if you have a smaller stage, you want that size a lot smaller. And if you have a much larger space, then wash it out. Or if you've got the smaller space and you want to go mad, I mean, put the size pretty big. Now the speed, I will show you now. Obviously that just speeds it up. You've got to be careful with it because the encoder and the speed is actually quite sensitive, because I've put it right up and you see the lights aren't coping with it right now. So I have to slow it down, and it will go really slow, and it will suddenly go faster. So there we go, that's speed. So I've shown you speed. I'm just going to go to no effect because that's getting annoying now. So yeah, that is effects, and that is controlling fixtures. So the next video will be recording some colour palettes and focus palettes, and I'll explain what they are in that video. But I hope this has been kind of useful to just quick start controlling fixtures and lights. Now before I go and leave you, I will really quickly show you the spot fixtures, because that's always useful. Now they are literally identical to the wash in the way they're controlled. It's just that you need to program in some colour palettes and focus palettes and stuff individually. It cannot automatically create them because it has a colour wheel inside, but I'll go into more detail on that on the next video. But I'll just quickly show the position. So in the pan tilt grid, you can move them, obviously, pan them. These are a lot faster than the washes, I've completely forgot to say. But you can see they're a lot faster. You can move them in any direction. So as I said, they are very fast. But yeah, they work in exactly the same way. Move them up and down, move them around. Now these also have patterns in them called gobos. Now these put patterns on the lights, but again, that is something that I will show you in another video. In the next one, actually, sorry. So this has been the 4th video in the training series. Thank you for watching. I hope it's been useful, and I'll see you in the next one.